So it's been almost 4.5 years since Microsoft's Xbox One was released. While the initial reveal was a bit of a disaster with DRM restrictions and the Kinect bumping up the price, they managed to do one thing spectacularly right from the get-go. The dashboard, which over the years was incrementally updated with small design changes and UI tweaks, making it better and more functional over time. But that's all been reversed with the latest Fluent design update, which in my opinion devolved the Xbox One dashboard and reveals the Xbox and Windows division of Microsoft are no longer communicating with each other on their basic design principles. Joel here for Geeked, and these are my thoughts on the recent changes to the Xbox One's dashboard. Now, I'm not one to get nostalgic over software design. In fact, I'm pretty content when it comes to the recent advances in UI from macOS, Windows, iOS, and so on. But recently, there is one interface that has me pining for the good old days, a UI that will forever in my mind be regarded as the pinnacle of Xbox OS design. I'm of course talking about the original Xbox One dashboard between 2013 and 2016. While the Windows 8 inspired Metro tiles were beginning to show their age, its consistent flat design language across the OS made for a pleasant and clean user experience. With the use of hard black backgrounds, flat UI elements, and a clear layout consistent across the operating system, it was a pleasure to display the Xbox dashboard as your television centerpiece. With each update, it felt like Xbox were adding more functionality while sticking to a clear uniform design goal and a distinct brand. Everything the user needed to know and access was present right from the home screen. There was no mess, and at the time, it seemed like the sky was the limit. What could possibly go wrong? Now, before I get into what went wrong with the latest Xbox design, I first have to explain where Microsoft as a whole is transitioning when it comes to their overall design language. Back in May of 2017, Microsoft introduced what they called the Fluent design system, a design language that would gradually make its way into all Windows devices, from desktop experience to television, apps, and so on. Microsoft stated the new design language would deliver intuitive, harmonious, responsive, and inclusive cross-device experiences and interactions. This new system comprised of 5 key elements: light, depth, motion, material, and scale, all working in cohesion to create a natural experience for the user. In my opinion, this was a huge step in the right direction, and a massive upgrade from their previous Metro design that felt restrictive and aged poorly. Microsoft even showed off how their new design would play into their platforms with a demo video featuring Windows and Xbox user interfaces. The video features heaps of new ways Microsoft is going forward in the way they construct their core designs. At one point in the video, you can even see a refined Xbox guide concept that looks just fantastic and really shows off the motion and light elements. This was clearly the way forward, a future that was coherently designed across platforms with a clear vision and goal. For the first time in a long time, it felt like everyone at Microsoft was on the same page from a design perspective, and that the Xbox interface was in store for a huge leap forward in terms of overall design and operation of the user interface. Then, just 4 months later, Xbox released their take on the Fluent design with a massive update featuring a complete overhaul of their dashboard. What was once a simple and clean interface with both function and form, Xbox's decision to take a hard left turn seemingly overnight with this latest dashboard update has me wondering why they think this is a step forward and not a huge step backwards. From poor implementation of the new Fluent design language to killing off the beloved Snap feature, it's hard not to feel like the Xbox dashboard is a huge slap in the face. To put it simply, the new home screen is a mess. Let's examine. In the top section of the screen, there is an abundance of wasted space, a contrast to what was once a layout utilising every bit of screen real estate. Below the negative space are 2 strips of seemingly random UI elements cobbled together. The first strip is oddly laid out and contains the last used app or game, and then a few bits of pointless info like friend suggestions, broadcasting, featured, and so on. Then below that, there are the 3 most recently used apps, with the rest of the space taken up by recommended and sponsored. Xbox's intention was to have a custom home screen experience, as requested by the fans, but this only resulted in a confusing mess. And sure, some features have been removed or scaled back for hogging up valuable resources. Just don't implement great features from day one if you're eventually phasing features out, rendering them obsolete. One of my absolute favourite features, the live tile, gave the ability to access the homepage without minimizing the app. This meant having a YouTube video or an in-progress game running in the background if you say needed to jump out and do something on the dashboard momentarily. Now, it's fair to think that I'm over-exaggerating, sure, but this new direction Xbox is taking is genuinely angering me to my core for 2 very specific reasons. First, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Xbox's reasoning for changing the home screen of the dashboard due to fan feedback is ridiculous. All I care about is the designers at Xbox give me a polished operating system with a clear design goal, not this spew of random UI elements spread across the interface. Why change the dashboard so drastically in such a short space of time? Why not gradually figure it out over a long span of time and figure out what seems to be working and what clearly doesn't? Secondly, Xbox's absolute butchery of the Fluent design system that Microsoft set in place is a joke. At this point, Xbox is completely lost with their UI design goal, and it's very clear their communication with the designers on the Windows team has ceased to exist. The transition from Metro to Fluent clearly hasn't been kind to Xbox UI and UX designers. It seems their ability to relay Fluent design into their dashboard isn't something they are able to grasp in its entirety. Something as simple as highlighting on active buttons has been completely butchered. It was once a basic and clear white border, and now a coloured highlight with an out-of-place glow that bleeds over the next section of elements. It's just ugly and doesn't translate well to the context of the dashboard. Or the fact that the pins below the menu screen only allows for a select amount of pins to be displayed, while slapping a huge pin icon on the side, with its sole function as a UI element to link you to another panel with the exact same pins. It just makes no sense at all. Why not put a small button on the lower half of the screen and allow the usage of the whole screen for pins or even folders with categorized games and apps? My last example is the Xbox Guide, specifically the Friends tab. With the previous Friends tab, all information needed was presented at first glance. This section was useful, it was upfront and well categorized. Jump forward to the current Friends tab and there are an abundance of buttons that no longer present information to the user. Rather, the approach they have taken is to open windows within windows to get to the information. No longer does the tab give you information at first glance. Instead, buttons have taken priority, with more wasted space below. There are so many other elements of the newest update that just don't make sense. But my ultimate hope is that the Xbox team realise that the update is a step in the wrong direction and autocorrect to a path that includes the feel of the previous dashboard and fully takes on the Fluent design system without half-assing it. Now, I really want to hear what you guys think about the latest update to the Xbox dashboard, so feel free to leave a comment below and let's have a constructive conversation, whatever your opinion. Also, if you like the video, feel free to subscribe. This is the first video of many on the channel, so hit the bell button if you want to receive notifications when we upload. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.